Your wealth is at risk more than ever. We are facing a major global recession. Inflation keeps rising, and you cannot be sure if your money in the bank is safe any longer. Fundamental economic and financial changes are underway, and you are afraid to lose the prosperity you have worked so hard for? Trust me, you don't want to sit on the sideline and miss out on the momentous shift of wealth that is currently taking place. We are living in a time of major change. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 3 ultimate tips to protect and grow your wealth in 2023. Not only now, but especially in times of such major shifts, the worst thing you can do is to have your money sitting in your bank account. You need to get your money to work for you, especially when banks are going bankrupt at an ever-increasing rate. But where to invest? The real estate market doesn't seem too appealing right now. Prices and interest rates are soaring, and the commercial real estate bubble is about to burst in the near future. Investing in stocks at the beginning of a recession hasn't necessarily proven to be the most profitable idea ever either. So, what is left? Here come my 3 ultimate tips for these challenging times. Let's get right into it with my first tip, silver. Even though this precious metal has a rather bigger use in industrial areas, and as such it can be negatively affected during tough economic times, it can be considered a good hedge. This means when investing in silver, you might face a certain volatility on a shorter time frame in recession times. This volatility is relatively small, and thus in order to protect your wealth, it can be considered a good option. Especially when you don't want to invest all your money in only 1 or 2 assets, it's a good choice. You'll want to diversify as much as possible. And in uncertain times, where options are limited, commodities like silver are a good choice. So, this brings us to my second tip. The mother of all safe and stable investment opportunities, gold. Historically, gold has been heavily outperforming the dollar, euro and yen. It has proven as the single best hedge against inflation during tough economic times. For a long time, gold used to be the reserve currency around the world, also known as the gold standard. Until 1970, when President Nixon needed more money in order to finance his war in Vietnam and thus decided to end the gold backing of the dollar. So, gold is probably the most obvious yet so extremely profound money tip for these times. Why is that? Well, gold is a scarce precious metal at home in Mother Earth. Hence, production cannot increase by choice. Gold has to be discovered and then it needs to be mined. This is a tedious process and it needs time and money. As a result, the global supply of gold can only slowly be increased. Inflation is around 2% per year. Compared to the inflation rates around 10% we have been seeing in our economy the last couple of months, this seems like nothing. All this makes gold an asset with a rather small volatility. In terms of preserving your wealth, it can be considered a safe haven for your money. Consequently, when looking at increasing your wealth, gold oftentimes only offers a limited return on investment. Not that it's bad, so it might make sense to diversify to another asset with higher volatility and thus potentially higher returns. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support is very much appreciated. Now, on to my ultimate money tip number 3, Bitcoin. Often described as digital gold. Compared to silver and gold, which have been around since forever, Bitcoin can be considered the new kid on the block. Bitcoin is often described as the modern, improved version of gold. Why is that? Well, Bitcoin is a digital currency without physical coins that operates independently of a central bank. Its supply is capped to 21 million, hence inflation is nearly impossible. Bitcoin is a monetary system based on a decentralized network. There is no entity behind it. No company, bank or government is controlling Bitcoin. It can be described as the hedge in uncertain times like we experience nowadays. And the best thing about it, we are still very early, as Bitcoin is only around since 29. This means Bitcoin cannot only function as an excellent store of value, it can also offer you immense upside potential in the future, as the global usage of Bitcoin can be compared to the usage of the internet in 1998. You remember those times? Well, of course, volatility can be higher on a shorter time frame with such a young asset. But just be in mind that Bitcoin now has a total value of $400 billion, whereas the entire capital market has a value of $900 trillion. That makes it 0.04% of the entire assets. Do you think this will increase over time? I'm pretty sure. Well, you want to know more about Bitcoin? Check out my full beginner guide where you can learn all the fundamentals about it. Well, due to cryptographic security in the blockchain technology, Bitcoin offers a secure system to digitally transfer assets. Where a large sum of money stored in gold or silver is complicated to transfer or carry around, Bitcoin offers the digital advantage, which means it can be sent around the world in a matter of seconds for very little cost. Moreover, the only thing you need to securely store your wealth in Bitcoin is a hardware wallet. A hardware wallet is about the size of a USB stick. As a result, storing your wealth in Bitcoin gives you a big amount of flexibility and accessibility. If you buy Bitcoin, make sure to hold them on a cold wallet. Want to understand why this is the most secure way? Watch my guide, How to Secure Bitcoin.